in Ropar, somewhere called Bharatgarh, and we're in these beautiful fields. You can see mountains at the back there, Pahadiyan. All around us you can see lots of greenery. You can see these mountains going upwards here. Very beautiful place. Lots of plants, lots of oxygen. We are actually going to go and see another fortress today that I believe was established by Nawab Kapoor Singh, who was the governor of Punjab, and he established this fort that we're going to go up to see, also known as the Faizalpuriya missile or the Singhpuriya missile, which is what he was in charge of, what he used to lead the battalions that would stand up for the Sikhs and obviously the locals that were in need, locals that were helpless. See up here how these fortresses were basically built upon cliffs and upon mountains. You can see the leverage here. We're going uphill, which make it extremely difficult for foreigners to invade and attack. So the fortification here is extremely strong. Piece of new brickwork in there as well, just to give that fort a bit more of a stronger foundation. But it's actually a private fort at the moment. There's residents living in there, and they are descendants of Nawab Kapoor Singh in a way, not his direct offspring, but from his nephew. This lineage kind of continues on, but we can see just how high it is. Even Guru Gobind Singh Ji learned from their history, they would always keep themselves strategically strong, and that always meant that they would usually rest in fortresses or forts or mounds, somewhere where they got an advantage of being at a higher position, making it difficult for any potential opposition to come and attack or invade. You can see a burj up there, one of the towers. I mean, this fort is probably one of the finest examples we can give in Punjab of a site of heritage, but also a site that has been very well maintained and looked after, obviously been preserved well. And the main reason behind that is because obviously it's private and there's actually family living in there, which is why we won't be able to go inside. But this camera might not be able to do justice. They've plastered around the old brickwork and repainted it to keep it strong. We can still see the old type design though, so where they would have doors or maybe windows back in the day, they maybe just updated those, but I can see an old door there at the bottom. But we can still see some of the bare old brickwork of that tower. Usually they would have 4 towers on, or what we call burj, on each corner of the fortress. So we can actually try and go and climb up there. There's the stairways that we can climb up as well. But I know Nishant in Australia did a video on this. He must have gained permission to actually go inside. Even then, he's not covered the full fort because it's private. It's privately owned. But I thought live stream is definitely worthwhile here. So you can see from down here, it's been built on one of those pahadis, one of those mountains. For a army to come and try and attack, it's extremely difficult to come uphill. So we can see why they would have these advantages of elevated positions for the buildings and architecture to take place. I mean, this is how fortresses were fortified. You can see here those slits within the tower as well, obviously for ventilation purposes. Also there's holes as well, which could even be used for, you know, shooting out of as well. So they were built with the intention of self-defense. But it's incredible. I mean, the stonework is incredible. We can come up to our third tower there now, third burj. We can see at the top there. So Nawab Kabir Singh Ji was one of the great leaders that the Sikh community had. We know he was chosen to be governor. He used to do service of the horses, so the Khalsa battalions that would safeguard the Khalsa Panth. He be in charge of looking after the horses, washing them, cleaning all the waste. And when he was chosen, you know, with a certain shabad he was reading once, Tehal Mahal Ta Ko Mile Jako Saat Kripal from Bharatgarh. And due to his service, he was chosen to be the governor. Very humble being, also a great warrior, Nawab Kabir Singh. Actually was lucky enough to meet Guru Gobind Singh Ji as a child. I believe he may have even obtained blessings from them, maybe even a sword, if I'm not mistaken. But as you can see here, it says there's a sign there, Bharatgarh Fort. So that's the fort's private property, just to make it clear that, you know, we don't want any trespassers or anybody else coming here, and it's not a tourist spot. But it says Government of Punjab approved farmhouse. This has been approved by the local government. Phone number on there. But we've now actually come to the same level as the fort now, so we're on ground level. But there's a very steep hill that goes down. I'm not sure if the camera is doing justice, but we can still see a lot of the bare brickwork on there. But it was definitely worth the live stream, and thank you all for listening. It's one of the great examples. I just want to prove the point that if we do want to preserve, you know, our heritage and older buildings, it is still possible, because these forts are still standing. It's just the case that they need looking after and giving attention to, and that's the only reason why we've lost the great architectures. That we're going to speak a million words for the future generations of the Sikhs that would come and travel to Punjab and see the history and learn. All those children that would love to see historical buildings that would back up the history they're reading. But it's just neglect, because we've neglected our buildings. We no longer have them. Had we not neglected them, and like in this case, somebody was looking after them, we wouldn't have lost them. And it's beautiful. It stands out from the all of Bharatgarh. This one building stands out. You know, it's incredible. It's the biggest one. It's the most beautiful one. It's historical. But thank you all for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed the live stream. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.